And good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the last Wednesday edition of Makers and Movers podcast on this Wednesday edition of May. Sorry if I didn't say that. Am I telling you this week my mind is all crazy? Anybody else's? That's what happens when short weeks. We got a double short week. What does that mean? First up, hopefully we had a safe holiday. Everybody's back here. Good to go on that. Yesterday was the Mondays of Tuesdays of all. I'm sure we're in agreement on that. I'm going to fill you on a couple things. First, we're going to talk trade shows because we do have the DAX show coming up this weekend in Chicago, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll be up there Friday afternoon and Saturday. So let me know in the comments if you plan on going, so that way we know if we can look for you and meet up with it. So we're going to talk about, 5 things that everyone should know about going to a trade show is what we're going to do today. Before we get into that, we're just going to catch up on where things are with it this week. Crazy week for us. Let me walk you through your week and want to know, and so you know how wild it is. Monday holiday, right? Hopefully everybody had a good time with that. Finished up with another cookout. Good times for there. Steak sandwiches, pulled pork, burgers, dogs, chicken breasts. Man, we rocked it out this weekend. So happy about that. My neighbors said that they love my meat in their mouth. It's always a great thing to hear from your neighbors, right? Next up, history was Tuesday. So Mondays of Tuesdays, right? We also had field day at the school. So, we worked about half a day and then we went up and worked the other half of the day at the school. I had calls in the morning, let's get stuff up. They're busy. This morning, we've got this right now, and we've got our mentorship call, 9:30 to 10:30. I'm also going to try and sneak out to go set up because it is Hattie's 5th grade graduation. So she's graduating from elementary school today. So we're helping set up everything for there, chairs, decorations, things like that. We got to be back there at 12:30 for that. Kids are out at 1:30. So we've got stuff out there, and then I've got meetings this afternoon. Meeting this morning already, meetings this afternoon. There's that. So now we're through Wednesday. Oh, and then we have doubleheader baseball, which we need to be at 4:30. So there's that day. Thursday, tomorrow, field trips. I've got field trips for school, going to the Butterworth house. So those that don't know, in our area, John Deere, it's huge. And Butterworth was the daughter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll find out more when I'm at the house. So we have that tomorrow. So that takes my front half of the day tomorrow. Thursday afternoon is get everything ready, finished up. Where do we need to be with stuff? A couple meetings lined up on Thursday afternoon. And then I still got to get my toes done for the show on Friday. Friday, kids' last day of school. We've got this in the morning, then our mentorship call, then go pick up the kids from school, and then drive to Chicago for the DAX show. So we have got a busy week. Amongst all of this, projects that we're working on as we go through it. We're transferring everything over from Ecwid to Shopify. That will happen by the end of June. So that process started yesterday. So I'm on point with that. So if you do have your bookmark saved for like get a quote things, those will change. We'll get updated. You'll know those. So that's moving over there. Everything from there. Website will stay the same, just direct to Shopify. Our mentorship stuff, we are shooting for, I don't think it's going to be next Wednesday, probably the Wednesday after that for our webinar on marketing. Met with the team on that, so to see where we were, got that rocking and rolling. We'll also have a cut sew meeting today. We're building out stuff and going through, doing everything that I can to have that ready to go by the fall, so we can be set, rocking and rolling, and be your cut sew source, U.S. based, quick turnaround times. That's a whole project itself. And then we've got a completely project out of left field that I had no clue, about. I've talked about it for years, and we'll see how that plays out. So we've got a lot of things going on, a lot of irons in the fire, and it's that time of year. So let's check in. Let me know who you are, where you're from. That's what that's the thing. I need to know that. Who you are, where you're from, what's in your cup, what the weather is like in your area. We're already on Peach Vibe number 2 with number 3 soon to be following it up. We had rain this morning. It's ending, so it should be starting to warm up. We'll see. It goes from there. He said it's a day. It's a day. What's up, Chuck? Good morning to you. Renee, hi from Rainy 56 Chicagoland. Water in the bottle, coffee in the cup. 5, meet with a vendor, deliver order, press order, run laser job, make chocolate chip cookie dough cupcakes for Ella's birthday tomorrow. Ooh, I'm like, wait a minute. Ella's birthday isn't that close to Dax. Dax is way later this year, so that's throwing me off. But chocolate chip cookie dough cupcakes. Maybe you can save one for this fat guy, because I'll see you, next day. to say. Good morning, Chuck and Todd from Renee. Sarah, good morning, everyone. Rainy day, coffee in the cup. I think our rain is past us, I'm hoping. Morning, Sarah. Happy anniversary to you and Steve. That is correct. Sarah's anniversary, 14 years, I do believe I saw. Morning, Renee. Thanks. And Sarah says, finalize a summer lineup. These are 5 things: purchasing, update policies, update WBDA website, drop off truck for detailing. Ooh, look at that. Any idea what time you'll be at the show on Friday? So depends what time we get out of the kids, and then it depends on traffic, because Tinley Park was an easy 2-hour drive. We just knew it was just a tad over 2 hours. So whatever time we left here, we'd get there. Now with it, Schaumburg, that adds another half hour to an hour on it, depending on traffic. So I won't know until we're on the road. Kids got out of school at 10:55. We plan on being on the road by 11:30, 12 o'clock at the latest, 2.5 hours. So we're probably going to get there sometime between 2 and 3. What I can do, Renee, is once we're on the road, I can update people and just say, hey, this is our ETA for it, and then go from there. So we'll see how it all is. I'm hearing mixed things on this show, as far as people were like, where it's located at, how much extra it's adding to drive time, how much extra it's adding on to different things. We'll see how the venue plays out. First year, we'll see, right? Barb, good morning. North Central Minnesota, 56 and cloudy out. Water in the cup. 5 things. 3D printing, quotes, setup laser notebook. As in lasering a notebook, or a notebook for your lasering notes? Which one is it, Barb? Work on business, plant flower containers. That's right, because it is Work on Your Business Wednesday. Once I turn on the mentorship call, that's going to stay open all day. So that way people in and out there, I'll make people host. Like I said, we'll be in and out, but we'll have that to rock and roll with it. Morning, Barb, for Renee. Linda, good morning from rainy Texas. Everybody's getting rain, right? Morning, Linda. Jenny, morning, everyone. We'll be at Dax Friday only. We'll be there in the afternoon. Are you leaving right after the show? Here's something else, too. Traditionally, Dax has had, an after party, where they do food, right there, outside of it. We don't know if that's happening. It did not happen in Nashville. Pretty sure it did happen in Kansas City. So we don't know if it's going to happen in Chicago until then. So depending on that might change things up, because it was usually we go there, we eat, and then everybody, after eating, hey, go get changed up, refreshed, whatever, and then we'll meet back down in the hotel bar. That might not be the case. We might have to find a place to go eat for dinner. So I don't know. I don't even know what's around there. I really got to look and see. Morning, Jenny from Renee. Linda says, I'm flying in tomorrow. Woohoo! Jerry, good morning, all. So, as we talk about trade shows, we can look at a few things, because, legit, trade shows can be wild. We have had a great time at them throughout the year. They can be part inspiration, part overwhelming, and one part of, why did I wear these shoes? Because I have to wear flip-flops so people can see my toes. That's a dumb brand thing now. And so now people ask, and I have to wear flip-flops for it. But, the trade shows, as overwhelming as they can be, is a great way that you can, level up your business for it. Most of these shows are going to be packed with vendors, with tech, with products, and people who can really help you, save time, make money, and grow your business faster. But none of that really matters if you just walk the floor without a plan. And so it doesn't matter what you do, laser engraving, embroidery, heat press, we can help you, kind of figure out the plan for this, right? The played out stuff that maybe isn't the greatest thing anymore. We can kind of focus on something that actually work and help you, build your empire, right? That's what we're going to do for it. So, number one, let's go in with a game plan, because trade shows by design are overwhelming. Every aisle is shouting for your attention, and it's easy to spend hours just walking around and realize you've accomplished nothing, right? And that's where, some of the smartest things to do is walk in with a focused plan of what you're going to do. Decide ahead of time which vendors you really want to talk to, what products you're really researching, and which classes or demos you really don't want to miss. And you don't need a minute-by-minute itinerary, just a prioritized list, okay? Knowing what you want to, knowing what you want to do, who you want to meet, things you want to compare, they'll really help you move with, an intention, move with intention instead of an impulse. And remember, time is limited because it can get away from you quickly. You'll start talking to other people, you'll get into a conversation with a vendor, and things can happen really quick. So having these quick plans of things that you must do, you can walk out with the answers that you want instead of just, those freebies that everybody's handing out. So, when we're looking at things, if we're going for a specific need, okay, like say we're looking at presses, right? Well, let's look on the website. Let's find out, what vendors we're assuming are going to have presses there, and so we can go those and compare them. This is what we want to do. We want to compare them. We want to talk to the vendor that's putting on. We want to know everything about it. Another thing is, do we have like a couple key goals that we want to do? You want to test that new press in person. Find a specific blank. You want to attend a certain workshop or seminar. So the best thing you can do is just make a simple list on your phone, with 3 to 5 goals for that day. Products to test, people to meet, booths to visit, questions to ask. And when you're setting up some of these, set alarms if needed, because conversations can get away and you can miss out on classes. Anyone else missed out on classes because you were doing something else? I'm looking at you, anybody who attended APA with me, and conversations just went one to the next, and just maybe skipped a class or two. Just saying, it happens. Number 2 is let's ask the questions that we really need the answers to. Because, what are vendors there to do? They're there to sell. They have a script, and if you don't interrupt it, that same pitch that they've given to the last 40 people, they're going to give to you. But you're just not anyone, right? You're a small business. You have real problems that need to be solved. So ask the questions that matter the most to you. And don't worry about sounding professional. I sure as hell don't. Worry about leaving with those useful answers that you need. Because really, at trade shows, this is your chance to get that one-on-one support that could save you hundreds of dollars or hundreds of hours of headaches. Think beyond that shiny sample that they're giving you. Ask about customer service. Ask about turnaround times. Ask about how they handle defective products. What happens if something goes wrong? Your job is to make sure that the product or service fits your needs, not the other way around. We just don't want something that's going to look cool on a shelf, or maybe we want something that we're actually going to use. So when we're looking at some of these things, ask, about turnaround times. Hey, how's it look during peak season? Do you have enough inventory to get through this? Do I need to order early so that way I have a backstock of it? Is this, a hot product that we're going to have issues with? If it's a back to school item, hey, I need to get this in now to start going with it. If it's something for holidays, when's that? So, ask them about how their stock levels work, and, if they have any backup plans and things like that. If you're looking at a new piece of equipment, because Brian here, taught us, taught me a really good thing, is that 2 is 1 and 1 is none. And what does that mean? Is when you only have one piece of equipment, it goes down, you're stuck. So you get 2, so that way you have, if one goes down, the other one's there for it. Now, most people, or a lot of people, just don't have the space or the budget to be able to do 2 DTF printers, 2 lasers, 2 cutters, 2 of this. So what do we got to do is we got to ask those questions. Like those looking to purchase DTF printers, if you're at DEX and you're looking for one, go stop by my friends at American Print and Supply. They will take care of you. And ask them, hey, if my machine goes down and I'm behind on orders, what can you do to help me out with that? They're going to help you out with it. And ask that for anything. You can buy a laser. Hey, if this goes down, what's the backup plan for it? You buy an embroidery machine. This goes down. What's the backup plan for it? Ask these questions for it. So write down, 3 real world struggles or bottlenecks that you currently have in your current setup. Use those as prompts to start those deeper conversations with the vendors. All right. Now, before we move on to the 3, let's check in and see where we were with it. Laser notebook journal to write in. Very nice, very nice. What's up, Curtis? 57 degree and cloudy out. Have fun at Dex. We're gonna try. Good morning, Jerry from Renee. And Jenny says we can't stay because we have a funeral to go to. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Hi, Renee, Linda, Sarah, Chuck, Jerry, and Curtis from Barb. Sorry for lost Jenny. I'll be there Friday only too. Hello, Jerry, or hello, Renee, Todd, Barb, Sarah, Chuck, Linda, Jenny, and Curtis from Jerry. Morning, Barb from Sarah. Morning, Jerry from Sarah. So, Jerry's got some hearts, and Renee's got some hearts, and Jeff's there. And, hey, Jerry didn't say hi to him yet. I like trade shows. Learn so much. Absolutely. Or you can learn so little. We've been to some of those. Jeff, hello all. Last day of school here. Already drank my drink since I've been at it 4 hours. Already 5 things. Nothing new. I'm right there with you. I was in here a little after 5 this morning because I knew we had it. I even worked last night. I'm working on a project of developing developing an app, and so that's interesting. I met with somebody last night who gave me some really good advice on things, how to do it. So we're making things work with it. Pretty excited about that. Our last day of school is Friday, so busy week. Hi, Jeff. Glad you are here. Jerry finally acknowledged him. Jeff says, been here from the start, just working. Why, whatever do you mean? I have no clue. You know, Vegas was good. They shouldn't put a bar that close to convention classrooms, right? Or one outside, or just in general, the general conversion area. Our problem is we've had a good meeting spot, and as one person would come, somebody would leave, another one there, and then it just started. That's the problem. Tim, morning to you. 54, rain coming, they say. It's rain. It just finished raining here about an hour and a half ago. So yeah, just getting back from breakfast with the wife. Good job. Pink Monster to drink. Hey, Tim from Jerry. Cindy, good morning. Drinking Mississippi grog coffee and hoping the rain is done. It should be done. My 5, epoxy tumbler, print straw toppers, finish stoning a cup, oil my sturger, embroider bibs. And Cindy's got a busy day ahead of her. Hi, Tim, Jeff, Curtis, and Cindy from Renee. Jose, good morning to you. How's everybody doing? Is everyone low too? Low? What? I don't know. Are they high? Hi, Jose and Cindy. Hello, Jerry. All right. So let's get back on to number 3. Capture what you'll forget, because you absolutely will. One of the things that we're bringing is, I almost made a mess of stuff because it was wrapped around it, is we will be bringing Plod. We'll be bringing Plod. Plod will be our saving grace, because we're going to forget stuff. We know we will. Trade shows are legit sensory overload. You're going to see dozens of booths, hearing product pitches. You're going to be grabbing samples. You're going to be bumping into, Instagram famous faces, these people that you see that are doing videos all the time. And it's wild because some of the way that the reactions that some of the people get for it. There's no way your brain is going to remember which press had the perfect peel or which vendor had the glitter vinyl that you loved. That's why you need to be documenting everything with it. So take photos, lots of them, snap product displays, business cards, booth signs, even pricing sheets. Use something like Plod or your voice memo on your phone if you don't have time to type. Label your images, or just create an album as you go. And the goal isn't to just collect info, it's to organize it in a way that actually helps you later. Otherwise, you're scrolling through 112 random photos with absolutely zero clue of what's what. So, if we're looking at something, about, a new product that's out there and they're demoing it, take a video of the demo. And then, record, like a 10-second memo that goes with it. Booth 218, press looked awesome. Ask about pre-orders, right? Maybe there's a new product that you saw and you want to compare it to something else. So take a selfie in front of that booth, and add a note to it. This was the company with the waterproof decals. Need to compare pricing on it. So what we do is, before we start, create an album on your phone before the show starts. Name it, like this weekend, we've got DAX 2025. And then drop every video, every note, everything that you do, everything that you take, you drop it in there as you take it. Pretty simple, right? Now, Here's one where I say, even if bad shows are bad, I mean, there's the education isn't the greatest, the vendors aren't the greatest. You'll have shows like that. Um, don't just network with vendors. Talk with the other makers, right? Talk with the other businesses. Vendors are important, yes, but sometimes the most valuable conversations happen with people standing next to you, in line or sitting in your table to class. These are your people, right? These are other business owners. They know what it's like to stay up till midnight pressing shirts, to deal with a bad supplier or to struggle with social media. The connections you make can lead to collaborations, referrals, lifelong business friendships. In my case, half my wedding party, right? The connections we made online, we're all from there. The trick is to break the ice. Don't overthink it. Just say, hey, ask, what they do, what they're looking for at the show. Most people are just as unsure as you to start a conversation. Does that make sense? Most people are just as unsure as you are to start a conversation. Most people, see, words are hard for me. So I'm always one, to talk and give my opinion. And I was at an open house recently down at American Print and Supply, and I talked to somebody about their DTF needs and what they were doing. And I'm not saying that I sold them a $75,000 DTF printer, but I had a huge part in it by going what their current system was, what they were doing, how many things they were doing. And I was like, hey, listen, for what this machine does, it will put your two machines into this and you'll be done by 10 o'clock every day. And we went through the numbers and I was like, here, realistically, does this make sense? And they're like, yeah. And they were ready to upgrade their two machines anyway. So they were looking to spend, 60 some thousand. They can get away with one, have theirs as backups. Pretty nice with it. So, we have way more in common with people than what we think we do. We also know a lot more about certain subjects than other people do. And you don't realize it till you're at a trade show and somebody is talking and asking questions. You're like, hey, wait a minute. I know that. You can learn a ton from each other. Somebody while you're waiting, we see a lot of, heat press demos, a lot of printer demos on how things are working. And so, while you're sitting there waiting for it, you talk with other people, you make these connections. It could be, where you get invited to, a group, a small mastermind group, hey, you got time for dinner or a meeting or, a drink just to kind of go over some ideas. That's how one of ours came through. The biggest part, I think, was Dax a couple of years ago. We had somebody that, $55 million in sales, and they sought us out because of the content we created. And they wanted some opinions on some things and wanted us to come down to see their facility. And we did. We make a lot of great connections out there. We've made a ton of vendor connections with people that matter, the decision makers with it, content creation with it, what other things that we can do and collab on it. So it's a great time to meet those people for it. Maybe there's somebody that you can find that can help you out with stuff. Maybe there's a product you don't do. Most trade shows that you're going to go to are localish to you. That means the other people are localish to you, which means if I don't offer embroidery, there's a chance I could find an embroiderer there that's close to me, and maybe we can work together and collab on some stuff. So what can you do is let's challenge ourselves to talk to at least 3 other attendees throughout the day. Ask what they do, where they're from, and what's been their favorite thing so far. Now, chances are I'm going to meet up with people on Friday, and you bums are going to ask me this. So I'm going to ask it to you. Well, I know we'll see at least 3 people, but we will continue on those conversations, and that's what we want. Make those connections, and then we'll see what happens on there. So before we get to 5, let's see what we go. Oops, slow. How's everybody's business? Up, down, in or out? Friday's topic of choice is we're going to have schools out now what? Because we do a lot of stuff for schools. So how do we plan for that summer and then going back into it? So there. In here, very slow in sales. There's a lot of people that are. We're about even. We're seeing one side slide down while another side sliding up. And we're just constantly putting things out there. Can someone show me how to thread my serger? You put the thread through the thing. That's what you got to do. I don't know what you're talking about, Tim. I don't know what you're talking about. Sergers are evil. Terrific ideas. Thanks, Jerry. Does Dax have many laser vendors? I think they're usually only epilogue. You might see more, and those are some things that we've talked about. I've talked with Steve over at PDS and say, hey, you really need to do Dax shows because there's not another UV flatbed. And the last 2 years there's been the little tabletop Epson one, so nothing like super fantastic like what they could do with the Mamaki. It's opened up for it. Yeah, right. Ton of DTF vendors, and that's like on sales things for that. And I was asked, hey, why don't you get a booth there? Because the amount that you have to sell to get back on that, especially in there, yeah, the amount that you have to spend to become a vendor to sell a product that a lot of people are really committed to. And by committed to that, they're just going after the cheapest price. That's all they want. They don't care about any of the other stuff. And I just don't know. But there are a boatload of them. And I know I talked to a few of them when we were down at our open house, and they said we'll see how it all plays. Epilogue, the only one, and Epilogue's a good one. If you only have one, hey, I don't see Epilogue being a bad one to have right there. All right, number 5, and this one's a thinker, because I think a lot of people don't do it, because we need to treat the follow-up as part of the event, just not an afterthought for it, right? Because the worst part you can make is you leave a trade show pumped and then you never follow up. Most of the value comes after the event. When you reach out to the vendors, when you test those new samples, when you share things on social, or you reconnect with the people you met. You don't plan for that, life gets busy and it just won't happen. So the solution is to block off time even before you go, at least an hour. That's all it takes to go through your notes, send a few emails, post a thanks for a great show recap, and take action on at least one thing you learned. And if you do it you need to do it while the event is still fresh in your mind and you still feel excited about it, because that's when momentum turns into actual growth. So, as you go into this, maybe you decide that, next Tuesday morning, you're going to set some time aside and you're going to order the samples. You're going to, DM some of the people that you met there and just talk and collaborate with it. Or, you're going to go live and, right there after the show, showing off your favorite finds and teasing what's coming soon, right? Hey, saw this at here. Can't wait to do that. So here's what you need to do is, add a spot on your calendar, label it trade show follow-up, do that next Monday or Tuesday after the event, set it like an appointment and keep it, schedule it, keep it. That's what we're going to do. So Friday show is, school's out, what's next? Monday's show is recap of DAX. So we'll talk about the things we're doing. I'm actually going to, I think I got my gimbal ready to go. I got to see if I can find my other mic and set that up there. And with Plod, we're going to try and record as much content as we can for it. And that way we can create some stuff over the weekend for it. And there'll probably be little stuff here and there, but that's what we're going to talk about on next Monday's show, is all about, what we found out at DAX and here's there. So look at me planning shows in advance. So, as we wrap all this up, we got to look at a few things, right? Doesn't matter what you're wearing, flip flops, full cosplay, suit and tie. Industry trade shows are one of the best opportunities for business owners to learn, grow, and connect with it. Treat it like a field trip. You'll leave with a tote bag full of crap you never need, right? If you treat it like a strategy session, you'll leave with your next big move. So recap, what we're going to do is we are going to have have a flexible but focused game plan. We're going to ask real questions that solve our problems. We're going to take notes and photos and videos so we don't forget anything. We're going to talk to people, and just not the people in the booths. We're going to talk to everybody. And we're going to follow up fast while that spark is still, hot and ready to go. So we don't need to blend in. We need to show up, stand out, and then leave us something that moves your business forward. So that's what we got. I'm open to your ideas, questions, comments, concerns. I said, who's going to DAX? What's your plan for it? What are we going for it? Oh, Patrick, my friend. Patrick, are you going to be at DAX Chicago this weekend? I've got some stuff I want to talk to you about and see where we can do with that. Cindy, I agree. Oh, what do we miss up here? But hey, Leaf Filter is there. So Leaf Filter is there again, and they did quite well because it's businesses that were like, oh, water damage, things like that. I was surprised. I actually talked to them last year. Just like T-Mobile will be there. That's where we got our internet special 2 years ago, and we've been using or was it last year, 1 or 2 years ago, and I don't know, we got a couple $100 in credit. Did that, switching to T-Mobile for internet, saved us hundreds, probably it's saved us thousands since then. So I was really surprised. Serger threading is a lesson in patience. If you don't have air threading, you can just tie a new thread to the existing thread and slowly turn the wheel. I'll agree with you. Cindy, I agree. If it isn't threaded now, it got pulled out. Oh, sounds like fun. And there's Patrick. And hi, friend. And Cindy says, thread the needle last to make sure the looper is catching. All Greek to me. No Dax vacation time. Whatever, Jeff. I will not. I wish I could, but let's catch up afterwards for sure. Yeah, let's. I have got something in the works that I'm going to need most likely your help with. I'm looking for a vendor of Caesar products that will offer affiliates and commission or drop shipping. I'm trying to work a deal on something else, and if it goes through, then I'm going to need some help on some supplies, because I do not want to be the supplier. I do not want to deal with that, but I want to be able to recommend somebody to go to on things. So, and I, would like a little, hey, we've got this many people come to you, we'd like some little back. So, I know Specialty Graphics up there by Chicago, but they don't want to work with anybody, and whatever. Leaf Filter for those companies who grow mushrooms out of their carpet. Hey, yeah, good point. I've been rocking with the After Dark series on the SNA YouTube, so that has been the focus of me and education lately. Love it. We got to, is it on the main channel or is it on a different one? Because I haven't gotten any notifications, which this happens in YouTube world. Sometimes you're subscribed to stuff and you don't get any notifications. What you need to do is go back to their channel, unsubscribe, resubscribe, turn on your notifications, make sure it's good, just like now. Make sure turn on your notifications, ring the bell, like, subscribe, comment, do all those things. Because Patrick, start sharing those in our group, so that way, I will know when it's there. Got it, Cindy. Ooh, I've got you. Give me a call. Will do. I've got a couple more things in the works to know before it gets to that point. But that was my thing, is that there's a handful of vendors that I want to work with on things that we need. If this project goes forward, I'll probably know more in the next month if it's going to go forward, and then I can reach out to you and go with there. You got this, Jerry. Who is SNA? Caesar North America. Caesar North America is what we got there for it. So if you just go to Patrick's channel, click on him, and then you'll be right there. I'm assuming it's on that, or it could be the other one. He will let us know. Okay. So with that, we have our mentorship call starting in a half an hour. If you're not a part of that, you can look at the link below. Go join us over there for it. We'll do that call, and then next Friday, or this coming Friday, we're going to talk about School's Out. What's next? Yep, School's Out. What's next? What are we going to do there? And then we've got Monday, we're going to do a DAX recap for it. Patrick said maiden channel. It's a register to attend, and then after the closed class is done, I upload them to the YouTube playlist. Good to note. You have to attend live chat. Woo! I love it. Never seen it put as SNA. Yeah, it's kind of sneaky like that, right? All right, I'm going to wish you to like and subscribe, and Patrick, like I said, I'm pretty sure you're in the group. If you're in the group, go ahead and post your stuff over there so we can get as much in there. All right. I've got some stuff to finish up in the next 20 minutes before we start that next call. Everyone will see you a Friday, because we do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, unless there's, a holiday most times, or a doctor's appointment, or something. We do it. This last couple of weeks have been crazy. You guys have an amazing day. We'll be back on Friday morning. Peace, love, press on. We will see you then.